Yes, it is March 2nd, and yes, it is still snowing. Welcome to New England. But my plants say hi. Look how well they're doing. Spring's coming, guys, I promise.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is currently snowing. It is March. I'm over it. So I'm not really gonna leave my apartment today. It's snowing all day. So I figured I'd just film a quick little video. I figured I'd film like a little first date makeup look, what I typically wear on a date. I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I just like have my makeup in front of me. I'm just gonna start putting makeup on my face. I have my tea with me. It's kind of like a cloudy day. There's not much to do. I guess I'll just like do everything tomorrow outside. There are icicles forming outside my window. I don't like that. I thought I'd just be like a chatty little video since I can't leave my apartment anyway, so I'll just talk to you guys. I'm gonna start off with the Becca First Light Primer Filter. I still like to use this guy. I just feel like it gives the skin a nice little glow. I finished watching all of Dating Around. If you saw my last video, you would have seen me going on and on about it. I love that show. I cannot wait for them to do a second season. I hope it gets renewed for a second season. I've been telling everyone about it so that they will watch it. And that kind of inspired this video, I guess, because I'm a single gal going on dates, and sometimes first dates can be a little bit nerve-wracking, and sometimes I'm not sure how I want to look on a first date. So I just figured I'd do a little look. I mean, it doesn't really change that often, but I usually go with like pretty light foundation, a pretty natural look, eyeliner, like a winged eye, and like a pretty neutral lip. So I'm not too different from what I usually do, but I just thought I'd film something. I was watching the movie Hero again. I haven't seen that in a while. I forgot how beautiful that film is. It's so sad. I cried at the end of it, and I don't remember ever crying to that film, but the ending I just thought was really, really sad. Anyway, we're gonna go with the Milk Sunshine Skin Tint. I did a little first impressions of this in my last video. I've had this for about 2 weeks now. I still really like to use it. I've been using it a ton, so it's either like between this or the Glossier Skin Tint. I have this in the color Honey. Pretty good color match. So in the last video, I was like sniffing this and figuring out what it smelled like, and I finally figured it out. It smells like my Aesop, whatever, repairing conditioner. That's exactly what it smells like. Very herbally, like kind of sweet. I don't mind the smell at all. It's just, it was bugging me because I couldn't figure out what it smelled like. So I'm just slapping this on with my fingers. My skin has been so dry recently. Like, I think it's a good day for me to take a break and stay in and not have to go outside and be attacked by the wind, because I've been getting a fair amount of breakouts, hormones and stuff, and there's like a little spot here that was like a cystic acne, like that wouldn't go away for 2 weeks, and it's finally calmed down, but it's still like a dry patch I have a lot of trouble like covering, even though it's flat. But because it's dry, anytime I put like too much concealer on it, it just gets really patchy and stands out and has the opposite effect of what I want concealer to do. So my skin is still really patchy, but we're just gonna keep moving along. Just winter time in New England, it's fine. My skin's just being a real jerk to me right now. Even with the primer underneath it, it's still a lot of patchiness, but we're just gonna keep moving along. I'm gonna do the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. Still my favorite concealer of all time. We'll see how it goes on this little guy. I was initially bummed out. I just found out about the snowstorm yesterday because I feel like it just showed up on the weather radar. And initially I was kind of bummed to be staying in the whole day, but the past 2 weekends I've been like fairly busy, so I'm kind of excited to just have a day in. I'm gonna like heat up some leftovers later and then make coffee and sit down and read a book. I just started the Michelle Obama book, so that's very exciting. Yeah, I love her. I'm really excited to read her book, and I've heard only good things, so I did a decent job on this little guy. It's not showing too much on camera, but I feel like in real life it's just there. So I was digging through my makeup collection yesterday. It's it's not that large, but I do have like a collection that I keep stored away just because I don't use it as often, and I will kind of once in a while look through it, take stuff out and rotate it so that it's so I will use them more frequently. And I forgot that I had this. This is the by Terry Ombre Blackstar. I have the Bronze Moon that I keep in my regular rotation, but this is the color Misty Rock that I forgot that I really liked. So I was swatching and playing with it, and I forgot what like a beautiful neutral color it is. If you can see that, they're all, I think they're all shimmery. I don't have all of them, I only have 2. So as you can see, it's really, really beautiful. It's kind of like a lavendery kind of mauvey shimmer. I was playing with that last night on my eyes. It'd make a nice little base, just like it's neutral enough, I feel like. And lately I feel like I've sort of been into the glittery eyeshadow look again. I wasn't for a while. I was really into mattes, but now I feel like shimmer, at least for me, is making a little comeback. So it just has like the most beautiful, beautiful wash of color. The Bronze Moon is also gorgeous. You have to blend these out fairly quickly because they do set in. So I like to do one eye at a time. And I know there are like a ton of these on the market, so you can find a good dupe. I just really like the quality of these because I've definitely had like eyeshadow sticks from other brands that dry out a lot faster, and I've had them for a shorter amount of time. I've had these for longer than I'm willing to admit. Yeah, they're still really creamy, still really, really, really blendable still. I feel like the shimmer on them is just unreal. It's so, so, so pretty. I feel like since this video is a first date makeup look, I should talk about dating and whatnot and just like going on first dates. So I have been going on some first dates lately. They're okay at best. There's nothing like bad about them. It's just, I feel like the older you get, the more selective you get because you're just a little bit more in tune with who you are and what you want. And it's not a reflection of the other person. It's just, I feel like you know when the date is just sort of like okay. There's no really follow-up of a second date because they just fizzle out and you don't really need to say that the connection is not there. I don't know. I feel like dating in your late 20s is very different from dating in your early 20s. That's been my experience anyway. And I feel like I've reached a point where I've been like mostly single in my life, that I'm actually very comfortable being single now, and just, I think for the most part, I prefer it that way. I feel like the amount of trouble and like drama and like feelings that go into it, that for me, it doesn't really work for me most of the time. Like, at least for me, I don't know about it, what it's like for everyone, but I feel like at least for me, it's just, I like being single and I like staying in, and I like watching movies by myself. Like, I don't feel like I'm really missing anything from the relationship part of my life, unless they're adding on to it. I don't feel like I'm really missing anything. I don't know if any of that makes sense. That doesn't mean I'm anti-relationships. If I meet like a great guy and there is chemistry, then like great, let's see where this goes. But I feel like lately I've just been a little bit averse to it because I just don't feel like, I feel like I'm happy with myself, and I feel like you don't really get that often in your life. And when I do feel this way, I like to hold on to it. And maybe it's a little bit selfish, but I think you also need to be selfish sometimes. Okay, went off the rails there. I'm gonna go in with the Milk Makeup Bronzer. Love this too. I feel like I've liked everything that I've picked up from Milk Makeup. If you're wondering how I'm getting on with them, I've been using this a ton too. I'm putting on a lot because it blends out to nothing. And I also got some new Zoeva brushes. Never tried them before, and I kind of got them for like blending purposes for this bronzer and also for some of their other cream products. I picked this up. This is the All Night Long kit from Zoeva. This is the 104 buffer brush. This is the look, man. Look at this. I look like a contour tutorial. Bringing it back full circle. So I think watching Dating Around on Netflix was really cathartic for me, because I just remember going on, like, when you're in like a dating mode and you go on like several first dates with people, and you can like compare and stuff and see the different chemistry between different people. I think it's interesting to watch. I don't know about you guys. I feel like I did this in a really weird order because I was talking so much. I did my eyes, and now I'm like doing my bronzers. So I feel like I already messed this video up. It's fine. That's so pretty. It makes my, I feel like it just lights up my face. This is a beautiful, beautiful bronzer, and I love it. I think I could go a shade darker. I also really like this brush too. We'll use it to blend foundation. Like if I'm wearing the skin tint or anything creamy, I'll use this to blend it out. It actually makes blending in the bronzer a lot easier later on. And then occasionally I'll use it for the, what is it, the work blush, but I'm not wearing that today. As I said, I typically like to wear eyeliner on a first date, the winged eye, just because I feel like it brings out my eyes. I feel like makeup is really all about making yourself feel good, and I feel like when I have a winged eyeliner on, I feel like I feel a lot more glam. You know, the same for like red lipstick, although this is my makeup of choice if I were to pick one. Also a lot more low maintenance. I feel like when I'm wearing a red lip, especially if you're eating or drinking on a date, I feel like I'm very self-conscious about what my lips are looking like, if they're going patchy or anything. So I like to go neutral on the lip area, but I like to go a little bit more dramatic in the eye area. I think I'm gonna leave like the eyeshadow as is. I was gonna like maybe add in some definition with this with the Nars Skin Deep Eye Palette. Also really enjoying this, but I think I'm gonna skip that for today and keep it pretty simple, since I'm just gonna stay in and watch Chef's Table and read. So I'm just gonna start off in the outer corners. This is the Stila liquid eyeliner. Still my favorite. I feel like I should zoom you guys in. I feel like this is actually starting to go dry. I've had this for quite some time. Pretty sure I need to pick up a new one. Wow, this is kicked. It's getting real. It's super patchy. I'm gonna go grab another one actually. I will be right back. Okay, that did not work out as planned. I'm gonna use a Tarte one instead because this one is definitely dying. So we're gonna do this one instead. I feel like this wing is bigger than I normally do it, but I'm actually kind of digging it. Let's see if I can do the same thing on the other eye. So actually, it looks pretty good. I don't think it's like super symmetrical, but you know, no one ever is. I'm not a professional makeup artist. I'm just gonna go in and dot my lash line just to make my lashes look a little bit thicker. That looks pretty good. I like that. I'm gonna curl my eyelashes. So since I don't go out that often anymore, and I'm a homebody, I don't like sit down and do my makeup as often as I used to unless I'm filming. So this sounds really lame, but I think my favorite part about dating is just like having that moment to yourself before you meet up and doing your makeup. I honestly think that's my favorite part. And before, like the anticipation of it and just like sitting down, looking at your face, figuring out what you're gonna wear, what your face is gonna look like that night with makeup. That's my favorite part, and I think that's why I sometimes do enjoy going on dates, because I don't like to go out to like clubs anymore or anything like that, so I never get like dressed up for that anymore. You know, and I still go out to dinner with friends and whatnot, but I think it's the anticipation of going on a first date or even a second date that's really exciting, because you are making a first impression, and I think makeup is, at least for me, a very big part of it. I like sitting down and doing it because I feel like that's that moment to yourself that you get to have before you meet a stranger, essentially. Or you can do your makeup and stay home, like stay in like I am. That's fun too, although I don't really like wearing makeup at home. I just like to be able to roll over in bed and just like not worry about my makeup getting on my pillows, but I'm kind of lame like that. Eyebrows, Hourglass. I don't know if I have any dating tips aside from the ones that you've probably heard a million times before, but they're true. You know, be yourself. Wear something that makes you feel good and that you're comfortable in. It doesn't make sense to wear something super uncomfortable because then it'll show on your day and you're going to be uncomfortable. It's already kind of like an awkward situation. So you want to be wearing your comfortable clothes. I've definitely worn tights to a first date before, and I was just wearing like a long sweater over it because I'm pretty sure I had a cold and I just wanted to be comfortable. And then we got drinks. You gotta do what you gotta do. And I was probably wearing makeup similar to this. I am a creature of habit. If you are meeting someone on the app or a stranger for the first time, you know, be safe, meet in a public space. Tell your friends where you're going if that makes you feel safer. I definitely do that with my friends, and I recommend it, especially if you're meeting someone for the first time. And it's fun because they text you afterwards to ask you how it goes, and sometimes it's embarrassing and sometimes it's funny. But safety is of the utmost importance, so always make sure that is your top priority when you go on a first date. And be yourself and everything will be fine. And if your date doesn't like you or you feel no connection, that's fine. You're not supposed to mesh with everyone. If you're going to pretend to be something you're not, it's just going to come back to bite you in the butt later. So just be yourself on the first date. Everything will fall into place, you know? I sound like a freaking grandma. That's what I sound like. One of the old interns that I used to work with would call me Grandma Way because she was still in college, partying it up. I love that nickname. I love being a grandma, you know? I like staying in it, especially when it's cold out. Like there's ice and snow everywhere. I'm not leaving today. To be honest, I probably will just get sushi delivered later because I had that last night and I want more of it. Even when I'm lazy, I will definitely do eyebrows and concealer because those dark circles are not going anywhere and I was not blessed with good brows. What is wrong with my voice? Okay. Mascara, caution. Sorry, Hourglass, caution mascara. I'm having like the biggest brain fart today. Had a really long week. Anyway, I had like a pretty crappy week. And yesterday was bad too. Yesterday was Friday. And I was like so looking forward to staying in today and not interacting with anyone. Oh my god, who am I becoming? I'm becoming like a hermit. I do like to go outside for fresh air. It's just when the weather's like this. So those are the eyes done. Pretty simple. One eyeshadow, eyeliner, and mascara. All right, I did bronzer already. I'm trying to remember. I did bronzer and oh my god, I'm having the biggest brain fart. I'm going with blush, the Hourglass Mood Exposure. I just want to use this up. I am so motivated to use this up and then get a new one. Yeah. Just like to have a nice little glow. Keeping everything else pretty neutral since it's not like a super like dramatic eye look, but that's where I want the focus to be. Yeah, so I just finished the first episode of Chef's Table in the new season. So far, so good. I feel like, you know, this is a conversation that needs to be had. I'm glad that all these shows are realizing the need for diversity. And Chef's Table was always great. I've always been a big fan of the show. But I think the one area of criticism was that it wasn't diverse enough. And I think they're really trying to change that, which I'm happy that they're recognizing and making that change. So first episode, so far so good. I don't know how many episodes there are in this season, but Sean Brock is in this season and I love him. If you watch Mind of a Chef, he's in one of the seasons. I think he just seems like a giant teddy bear. I love watching people who create and people who are passionate about their craft. Yeah, I'm excited to get to his episode because I've seen him in other food shows before. He was also in Ugly Delicious, I think, but he just seems like a cool dude. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of highlighter. We're gonna go in with the Glossier Haloscope in Quartz. This is my new one. I finally used up my old stick. Apply directly onto the skin, down the center of my nose. I have the RMS Living Luminizer, and I was comparing the two because they're very similar, because neither of them really have like a shimmer. They're more, to me, they're more of like a gloss or a sheen, and it's not really like this super, super glowy highlighter. And I think I still prefer the Glossier one because it's not as white. The living luminizer makes you look more like you're sweating, but because I am more tan, I think it looks maybe a little bit too white on me. It doesn't have that intended effect on me. I think it doesn't look as like sweaty. It looks like more like a highlighter, if that makes sense. That being said, it's still a very, very nice highlighter, but I do like that this comes in a little stick. I've been really liking like stick forms lately versus things in pots. Last thing, lipstick. It depends on my mood. Sometimes I just wear chapstick, but I feel like I want to wear this lipstick today. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. This is now like my favorite nude, just because it's so comfortable. It's so close to my natural lip color, and it doesn't make me look washed out. Because sometimes my lips, there's some like pigmentation here. It's not dryness, but there's just like white on the bottom corners of my lips that sometimes I like to get rid of. Because it's snowing, there's a lot of noise outside right now. I think it's like a snowplow. Sorry. So this is the finished look. This is pretty representational of what I typically wear on a date. I like to wing out my eyes, have everything else be pretty neutral, nothing too over the top. I still like my skin to look like skin, even though my skin is crap right now. But that's it. Wow, that snowplow is really working it. Okay, so I'm just gonna end this video soon, but just some final thoughts on first dates. First and foremost, be safe. Don't feel obligated to stay on the date if you don't feel safe, or if you're not feeling connection, you're not obligated to stay. Wear something that makes you feel good and comfortable, whether that be makeup, clothes, shoes, what have you. You do you. Yeah, just be yourself. Just have fun. It doesn't have to be anything serious. You can just go for a drink and just meet new people. Or if you're in a place where you don't want to date, like where I am right now, that's okay too. Take some time off. Like, do what you gotta do to recharge. And if you don't ever feel like dating again, that's okay too, because I'm very, very close to that. Do what makes you feel good. I am going to heat up my leftovers now, and I'm just gonna enjoy the snow from my apartment. Thank you so much for watching and listening to my ramblings. I will see you in the next one. Bye.